What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming by. In this video, let's talk about what's happening right now. Some people are very scared. People are very scared. The market seems to be dumping, which it has. So I wanted to go over, have some information to share with you guys that hopefully you find interesting. Let's start, though, with the overall fear and greed index. So, like anything, you could see right now, like anytime people are worried about any kind of major economic news, then things just seem to be very uncertain right now. So what we're seeing is just a big sell-off for a multitude of reasons, which we're going to talk about right now. But also just I want to put things into perspective. Right now, the market, you see, and we dipped really low overnight while we were sleeping. I know some people may stay up all night, but I was actually sleeping. Woke up this morning and all kinds of alerts going off, and you can see that we did get down, $45,000. So just put things into perspective, though, because a lot of you watching this video are probably newer to crypto, or maybe you've only been in for a year or less. So what I have found is that a lot of people may not realize overall that just even compared to where we were just a year ago, and you can see here, I'm not going to show a bunch of fancy charts and all of that, but if we pull up the Bitcoin chart here, then you can actually see just even, let's go back to the 1 year, because everything still does follow. Everything still does follow. So even as far back as December, let's go 1 year, literally December 4th of 2020, you can see we were down in the $18,000-$19,000 range with Bitcoin. So just a year ago was a lot lower. So to look at a little bit of a dip overnight, that's what crypto is. That volatility, we might see an exponential 1, 2, 3,000% rise in price, but you're gonna have these dips in these periods where things go down, things go low. So overall, the main reason why we're having this issue in the market is mainly because of a couple different things. Inflation is definitely main reason of what is causing all of this. We also got to look at the Evergrande fiasco and what effect that has, and also this new, I don't want to say the word because YouTube doesn't like it, but the new variant. The new variant is definitely having a play on that. So really, with everything going on right now, essentially we have to watch. We have to watch what the Fed is saying. You can see here, Jerome Powell, the Fed is not all sure inflation will fade next year. Now, first of all these people do, these top big bankers, all they want to do is sit around and discuss things in meetings. And you can see here, Powell says the Fed will discuss speeding up bond buying taper at December meeting. They sit around and they think and they decide what they're going to do, and it just takes a long time for them to even decide to do anything. But here's what's happening. Inflation is definitely going up. So they're basically saying that we're going to stop printing as much money. We're going to stop buying up some of these assets and like mortgage-backed securities, because right now they're buying $15 billion a month, $5 billion of which, so you see right here, $10 billion in treasuries and $5 billion in mortgage-backed securities. So if that stops, then there's less money in the economy. There's less money moving around. They've got to, at some point, if interest rates do raise, that's even less money flowing essentially in the market. So that's kind of the scary rock in the hard place scenario that we're in right now, that we have not been. So you can see another really cool chart right here, just the purchasing power of our dollar, just compared. You can see January 2020, and as the chart goes down, you can see here it's precipitously lower just over from a year. So and this is straight from, you can see here, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is their FRED model, which is the Federal Reserve Economic Data. So that's really interesting. All of this is happening. You can see right here, 12-month percentage change in the consumer price index of a bunch of different items. All items across the board were up 6.2%. Inflation, the cost, is up 6.2% from this time last year. Food up 5.3%. Energy up 30%. All items minus food and energy 4.6% up. So that's a huge deal. So just that uncertainty and the Federal Reserve essentially not being able to give us very clear direction at this point on exactly what they're going to do. It's still all maybe up in the air. I think at the very end of this, they can't stop the flow of money going into the market. So if money is not continuously stimulated right now, markets are going to go down even more. And so essentially these big bankers, they don't want everything completely wiped out because they want to make money as well. So they have to continuously prompt and motivate that money flowing into the market. Another big thing too, and I'm just tired of hearing about this. I'm tired of hearing about Evergrande. I'm tired of hearing about how they're $300 billion in debt. I feel this is still having an effect. This is still having an effect on the market. Now, a lot of analysts and economists are saying that the risks has already been priced in. The risk has already been priced into the market, which I would agree with. I mean, we've been hearing about this for a while now. You know, people are taking their losses. It's going to have an effect, but it's not as big of an effect, at least here in the United States, on what is actually happening with inflation and with just the overall money supply increasing. I think a bigger motivating factor or cause rather is the new variant. The new variant is more scary than anything, but I think at the end of the day, it will all work out. It's already, from the cases I've seen and just the news out being circulated. Now, what do you believe is another story, but it seems to be not as bad. So hopefully this will get cleared up and we'll get some clarity, and things will just be getting back to normal. I feel like overall people we're just so tired. We're just beyond over all of this right here. And so the major thing is just, well, we got to get our economy back going. We got to get jobs going back up. We got to get things moving forward. And the overall inflation is going to have the biggest effect on where things are. Inflation going up. So, I mean, I'm looking at right now, short term, yeah, things are down, things are low, but I'm looking at this as an opportunity to buy more of the assets that we've been stacking and talking about, that I've been looking at, that I own. Quant, another example of something I'm definitely super bullish on long term. Everything's just being really slow right now, but there's others definitely I would look into purchasing that I've been stacking my bags on, and these are good buying opportunities. You know, Quant at 170, Alliance Block at 55 cents. These are great prices. So what else? You know, I find it also interesting with crypto in general. Moving on, I wanted to share this article here. You can see Paul Tudor Jones says crypto is his preferred inflation hedge over gold right now. So that's the thing right now. Even though prices are going down, the trend is going to be continuously going up. Like, people are this space is still in its infancy. Only, $2-3 trillion range in crypto overall. Now, people were saying that we were going to go back up higher and higher, but get over that $3 trillion mark. But here's the thing: no one really knows exactly where this market is going to go. No one can really 100% predict it, but you can make calculated predictions, and the overall trend is that the space continues to grow. So when we have these short-term dips, I've used that as a chance to get even more and accumulate even more, because in the short term, once it starts going back up, that's even more that you have in your long-term bags, long-term holds. So that is, if anything, just what's happening around the world with this inflation is the biggest thing, is the money supply. Nothing else really matters. It's just, it seems like everything seems to be converging economically on that, and the new variant and strain definitely doesn't help having it. But economies around the world, people around the world are turning to crypto because they see it as a preferred inflation hedge. And it definitely is. You can even see here JP Morgan says Bitcoin, not gold, is the new inflation hedge. I would go further to say also too that it's not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be a safe store of value long term, but if you want to see like an exponential growth in your wealth, then altcoins are where it's going to be over the next, especially 3, 4, 5 years. So short term, yeah, it's scary, but I would say don't panic sell anything. That is not the time you want to be just getting out. Just panic sell. You don't want to do that because now you're definitely making losses. The way crypto is it could go back up through by the end of this weekend. It already is. Like, it's already gone back up. Should we get back into the $50,000 range? I think that's very likely by the end of this weekend. But long term is where we want to look. I'm not a short term person. I'm getting in on these projects. I'm getting in on these companies that I feel like are going to be around, that actually are giving value to the world. That's my investing thesis. You may have a different thesis, I'm just here sharing my journey with things. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy who helps people with mortgages and fix their crappy credit so they can buy a house. I just also happen to be super into crypto and have been in it a while now. So again, this is just my journey. So if you have a different opinion on things or where you want to spend your money, by all means do your own research. But this is what I'm looking at. This is what I am talking to my clients about, and my circle is mainly this is a big deal, the inflation, and where do we put our money. So I view today what's happening this weekend. I'm topping up on some things. I'm about to go shopping personally. I'm about to look at some more really interesting holds that I've held for a long time, and I want to continue to accumulate them. I'm looking at different projects, and I'll do more deep dive videos on different ones, but these are the ones that I want to hold long term, because I'm looking at assets that I don't look at just the short term. I look at what are they doing long term, who's their partners, where are they going. I'm looking at something that I can hold if I buy something for 3, 4, 5 years. So when we have these short little dips and everything crashes down, we're not worried about the short term. We're going to be able to get larger positions because the trend is definitely going in an upward, momentum there. So that's all. That's all I really wanted to share with you on this video. And yeah, just hang tight out there. Don't panic sell. Do your research. Use these times to do more of your research. Use these times to find those projects when things are super low, so you can take advantage of this. You can have some cash on the side, take advantage of it, and keep on riding up. All right, till the next video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you got anything from this video. If you have any questions, definitely tell me what you're buying right now. I shared some that I'm buying. Leave a comment and tell me what you're buying. If you're watching this video, maybe you're newer to crypto and you don't really know, or you're getting into some positions, let's definitely share down what you're getting into below. And I'll see you in the next video.